Yo. 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 Yo, yo, yo. What's up, boys? Riley, how's it going? Alright, give me a second. I'll try to fix this real quick. Sick. There we go. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Is the game over yet? Hold on, hold on. I don't want to speak too... 2-0. 2-0. Thiago Silva still being Inter. It's just in his blood, man. Let's go. Come on, baby. Thiago Silva is him. If only he could have scored against him, that would have made it even better. How is my GOAT? Depends who your GOAT is. If EA gave up on Ultimate Team, then so will I. I have not given up on Ultimate Team personally. I have over 200 player picks that we're going to open today. And I have a surprise for you guys. I said it on Discord yesterday. And I meant it. I got a big surprise. An experiment, so to say. We've done 100 League SBC run-throughs. I did another 50 League SBC run-throughs. I can't get to the packs yet. But we'll open those today as well. So, we got well over 200 player picks today. We have 50 League SBC runs, the tradable packs we're looking through. Then on top of that, you might know by the title, but we're going to run a little bit of an experiment this week. We are going to see, I don't know exactly when this came out. I just saw it yesterday. There's a 92 plus 1 of 5 team of the season player pick. And although you have to put in exactly or higher 88s or 87s, and that'll take away from exchanges a little bit. The good news is they got tradable packs on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take our already unlimited packs. I'm going to turn this into liquid coins. But I'm going to try as hard as I can once we get out of our tradable packs and we start selling most of the things. If I can turn our coins into 86 exchange fodder, and then turn those 86s that we put into the exchange fodder into these and other exchanges and player picks, that's going to be insane. Why is it saying headset disconnected? Brother, I don't even have a headset in here. But let me know if you think that's a good idea. I'm going to put all my coins into 86s if I can. It might be slowly over time. I just need to make sure we're out of these, man. We're on the street is Brazilian, Mexican League. Chile League will be an FC. Dude, if we can get Thiago Silva back, if they're one of the teams, I'm going to be so happy. It only takes 2.5 exchange packs. True. Best pull from these has been 97 Ta. As long as I'm getting consistent exchange cards, and I'm getting some 87s and 88s along the way, I don't mind if we have some stinkers with all 83s or 83s and 84s. We're going to have enough of these this week. It'll be worth it. There we go. Well, I have Inter Milan bottled everything. They haven't bottled everything this season. They've bottled a lot. They've bottled most things, but this wasn't a bottle. With very limited ball knowledge, people might look at this game and say, well, why didn't Inter win? They should be the better team. Thiago Silva has his whole career just destroyed Inter Milan. And given the opportunity to do so again, as the captain of a Brazilian side, he wasn't going to let that opportunity go to waste. So that was the easiest money line if you guys ever wanted to bet on a thing in your life. You should have let me know. I would have told you. Now, that Inter's out of the tournament, Thiago Silva probably doesn't care anymore. They're probably going to lose next game. We've been cooking with signings recently. Kepa and Nordgaard in the same day, and now we're going for Eze. Dude, you guys are going crazy right now. Sunderland, low-key, is going crazy right now, bro. Oh, my gosh. The links we have, the players we already signed, the money we got them for, how much they might be worth in a few years. Ooh! How was the small vacation? It was fantastic. It was a family golf outing. So we went up north to my uncle's cabin for a few days. And now, 4th of July is this upcoming weekend. I'm going up north again to camp with some of my really close friends from my church. So I'll be gone again Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I will be gone for another 4 days this week. So in the meantime, we're doing an insane grind to get as many player picks made, exchange packs opened, as many 92-plus Team of the Season ones. I saw someone on Twitter trying to pack every single one of the, what do you call them? Every single one of the Team of the Seasons. So if he doesn't have one, he takes it. I kind of want to go for that too. 89 Herberger, let's go. 88s have been more rares than 89s. My rule of thumb is going to be, if I have the 87s and I need like another 88, instead of making a bunch of like Team of the Week packs to potentially get some additional 88s, I might, if I have a bunch of dupe Herbergers or something, throw a 89 plus in there as well. We'll see. But no, vacation was a lot of fun. We got another one coming, baby. All right, all 83s in that one. Also, Sesko followed Arsenal and IG and unfollowed City. Ooh. Dude, I love all the social media things where it's like they follow someone or someone posts something. Like, didn't what's his name? Who's the trash goalkeeper going to Newcastle? Didn't he post something like, instead of Haway the lads, he did Haway? Got the Derby wrong already? Thank you, Sebi, from an 89 exchange and Coman from the 94.5. Nice. I don't really care if it's an 84 or 83. Honestly, if I have dupes and I don't have one that's an 84 or 83 and I have to choose between them, I'm probably going to start doing that as well. Because all these are probably going back into, besides dailies, all these are just going back into more player picks. Yo, do me a favor if you guys are enjoying the stream so far. Smack that like button, subscribe if you're new. Like I said, we're doing 200 plus player picks today. Hopefully at least 5 of the 92 plus. Oh, speaking of Newcastle, well, not for long. He's leaving. We're going to do hopefully 5 of the 92 plus Team of the Seasons. We're going to have a crap ton of exchange packs. I have 50 tradable League SBC run-throughs I did when I was gone. What's the weight looking like on the new picks? Not as good, in my opinion, as the 82 pluses, but they're not going to be as bad as people think. In general, the grind's already unlimited. One less card, one higher rating. That's going to be the trade-off. For me, I'd rather have the one extra card and the 2 less players needed. But we'll most likely get that again next week, so it's not the end of the world. Did you make any League SBCs? Yep, I did 50 League SBC run-throughs. Ooh, another Herberger. Let's go. Big respect to Sunderland for ignoring signing championship players and signing actual quality. I mean, if you follow kind of what Sunderland wants to do as their model and kind of behind the scenes, the move they're making, specifically the director of football that they didn't officially announce yet, but is basically the main reason why we have all these links to begin with that seem, quote-unquote, way too good for a newly promoted side. We essentially took the Roma sporting director, or director of football, I should say. He left there, and then we got him to come here. And all the players he wanted when he was in League One, all the players he wanted when he was in Serie A at Roma, he's now trying to come to Sunderland with Premier League money. Plus a French former League One manager that has links to Lorient and a bunch of other teams as well. Through youth academies, through just the league in general, the language barrier. There's a lot of kind of benefits to the way Sunderland's doing it. And the one I'm honestly most excited about is the like 1 to 5 million pound wonder kids. Those are going to be the interesting ones. Academy players too. Like, it's one thing to build a starting 11 and get it to Premier League quality. I think that's super important. But if the goal is to escape relegation, and even if you don't do that, be in a good financial position when you go down, I think the signings we're making right now are perfect for that. Yeah, we're Sunderland's looking to raid Lyon because of what happened. We're looking at their striker right now. And by we, not me, it's Sunderland. I just lived through the club. This is not an unlimited grind. They block you at some point. I've yet to be completely blocked. And I sometimes go for 12 plus hours a day. You got to move from PS4 to PS5, web app, companion app, Pale Tools, back and forth. But yes, in theory, they will eventually, quote unquote, stop you. But at that point, time's going to be the thing that stops you well before they do. Alright, we don't care about Kuna Matata anymore. Think Patterson gets benched this season with new keeper? I mean, I think it's a stretch to think a decent to good championship keeper should be expected to be the starter for a Premier League season. I think that's unfair to him. I think it's also potentially unfair to not have him fight and other players fight for a position. I think that's why preseason is going to be so crucial. But as of right now, Balk is not a guaranteed. There's links to the Saudi League. I think it's mainly his agent trying to get some extra money out of Sunderland. But from what Fabrizio's been saying, it sounds like Sunderland is the most progressed club in terms of negotiations. Sounds like Nice and Sunderland have already agreed to a fee. It basically comes down to player preference now. Not player preference. The player's preference for what club they go to. So he's been following people on Instagram. He already has Adil Ashish from Sunderland followed. He followed someone from the Saudi League just to probably get an idea of what it's like there. But nothing's set in stone yet. Soft fans will stop me before fodder does. Yeah, like I said before, if you guys get all PS4, PS5, Pale Tools web app, you can really stretch it an extremely long time. $4°C announced for Wednesday. Jeez. Dude, I can't believe you guys don't have air conditioning over there. That's wild to me. I couldn't imagine living. The heat's obviously not as bad as the United States, but without the AC, dude. R.I.P. Use Pale Tools and exactly after 90 PPs, they block there too. I made 160 player picks in the span of 25 minutes on Pale Tools at new content today. And then I made an additional 50 on my phone. I made an additional 25 to 30 or so on my console before running out of cards. Come on, EA. Give us a promo code. We've packed quite a few so far. Especially the woman cards. I thought those would be harder to get. They seem easier than shapeshifters, to be honest. Are those still in packs too, or did they go away after a few days? Another 87. Lovely. They are until Friday? Alright, sweet. Dope. Carlos! Hey, Momo. Good to see you. How are you doing? I'm doing fantastic, buddy. How are you doing, brother? Mexico and the United States are through. The Gold Cup final might be in reach if both of them don't bottle like Canada did. One can only hope. Lewa, baby. Let's go. Then the PTG2 comes out for a week. Okay, so if I'm gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're getting what? The final team of Shapeshifters on Friday. And then probably the next set of that team 2. And then after that, what? We're to footies? Let's hope they can beat their rivals. Hopefully, man. I would love a U.S.-Mexico final. I feel like football needs that right now, especially CONCACAF. Do you know if Mexico, if you've been watching, is Mexico playing as close to full strength as a roster as possible, or do they have like their B and C team in as well? Because I know a lot of the United States camp and Canada's camp don't have their quote-unquote best players, but doesn't mean that they still aren't competitive. How come this doesn't happen to you? Because I get blocked after 90? What are you doing differently? I'm picking up on patterns, speeds, refreshes, when to switch back and forth. I approach it in a very smart way. I essentially say, if EA thinks I'm a bot based on what I'm doing, how do I make it look like I'm not a bot? And usually if it's I'm going either extremely fast or at the same speed non-stop for a long time, that's when I get in trouble. So I usually mix it up. I'll open a pack in between some things. I'll go to console, then go back. Even if it's too early, I'm not even at risk of getting banned. Try to mix it up as much as possible. And then even when I do get Pale Tools soft banned, usually by going to one or the two consoles, the second I start making something and go back to Pale Tools, I'm instantly unbanned. Most of the time. Dude, these are given out right now. We have not played a lot together in shows. The last game was horrible. They barely made plays as a team. You guys have the 16-year-old midfielder, though. He looks quality. I wonder if a European squad comes and scoops him up soon. Looks very promising. Cold, another 88. Let's go. Honestly, these picks are way better than I thought they'd be. Ooh. Okay, I will try. Thanks for the help. I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, buddy. And like some additional tips too. If you're trying to maximize your time on each thing, I find when I'm on the companion app, if I'm doing both club and storage, gold, low to high, ignore positions, that's an extremely easy way to make the picks or the crafting upgrade if you want to do either one. Just make sure if you're doing that, you're balanced with the rares and commons, or you're doing mostly all rares. If you have a bunch of like 75 to 76 commons, and your lowest rares are like some 80 to 84s, that's going to be extremely difficult to make unless you're taking more steps and doing like most recent, max of like 84. So what I normally do is once I'm kind of either out of commons or I have the good mix, I'll make those packs where I'm just doing low to high super quick. And I'll knock out another 50 to 75, sometimes 100 on my phone before I even step to back to Pale Tools or to console. "16-year-old is replacing his starter that tore his ACL, and he'll be missing the World Cup in Mexico, sadly." Dang. Already this far out? Surely you'd probably have enough time to heal and have a chance at least, right? Or is he older, and because he's older and probably already had that injury a few times, they don't think he'll make it? So we'll go for an 11-year coma. When is happy hour? I really hope they release the 15K packs. Messi! Pop! Take a Messi. He had the same lesion that Rodri had, whatever that is. Ooh. It's about a year to recover. Yeah. He might be cooked then. Look at all those 89 pluses that are dupes already. That's a beautiful sight to see. Alright, you guys are going to see some 86s start popping up soon too. I think it's after this next batch. You're going to have some start popping out. So what we're going to do, once those come out, I'm going to go to Pale Tools quick. I'm just going to spam 86 exchanges, hoping that it pulls a lot of my dupe storage and are unassigned. When you do storage, all it takes from storage first, so you have too many commons, just do a few crafting packs before you spam crafting upgrades. Yep, that works too. Alright, you should have another chunk of player picks still. So we've done over 100 player picks now. We should have another 60 or so. And then after that, we'll be able to craft even more. Alright, we're going to do skipping on these groups. Is the rumor true that you're Jake Paul's next boxing opponent? Nothing is put down pen and paper officially. Unofficially, Fabrizio Romano should be confirming it in the next few days. So that's all I can legally say right now. Until you see the here we go. How much coins for you to take the dive? Hey, another one. Let's go. I'm not going to dive, actually. I don't know if you guys know this. Me and Jake Paul have a pretty good working relationship behind the scenes. I actually, believe it or not, Jake Paul is the one who taught me about Combinable Libertadores and Sudamericana. Many years ago. $5. Yeah, he knows ball. Doesn't come across as a great person, but he knows ball. Think there's an exact number of SBCs that can be made for the entire console? I do not know what the number is. I do not know how many it is in an hour. I don't know how many it is in a 24-hour period. I don't know how many it is in when often it resets if you go back and forth between the thing. All I know is if you follow the steps that I told you with switching back and forth between PS4, PS5, web app, companion app, Pale Tools, I usually can get 8+ hours a day if I'm really, really grinding without fear of getting banned on everything. And most people don't have that kind of time. So they could do it and never run out or get banned. Also, too, shout out to the 85 exchanges, boys. I literally sat there spamming 75 20s to get my club full of gold rares. I had over 600 gold rares and over 600 gold commons from spamming League SBCs, 75 20s, and 89 exchanges that we were crafting to get our club stocked for these player picks. Dude, these are giving out heavy, man. My goodness. We're cooking, boys. Who was it? Shallow, did you see Sunderland might be in talks with Guendouzi? Most likely won't happen. But still crazy. The 85 exchange is the homie we never knew we needed. True. Yeah, Guendouzi used to play for our coach back in France. So they have a good working relationship. And I believe he's in the last year of his contract, or it's coming down to almost a year. Another 88. Another 86. These are cooking. Been so long since I heard the name Guendouzi. Yeah, man. I'm going to make the dumbest football statement in the world, but I feel like every person who plays FIFA / EAFC and watches football feels the same way. It is so weird to have, like, silvers on the team you support and have them be worth, like, a few million. But then there's also silvers in the game that are worth like 30 million. It's a weird feeling. Think we're all on our last brain cell of this grind? A little bit. Dude, it's like every pack at this point. Hold on, let him cook. Kuna Matata. 35. Dude, I want to know how many team of seasons I already have in my club. I feel like we've got a crazy amount. Alright, so our dupe storage is going to be mainly just fodder cards. Oh yeah, we're approaching 1,500 crafting upgrades as well, by the way. Alright, I think this is the last group of player picks. One special out of that or two? I think just the one special. Special drop rate doesn't seem that high, but exchange fodder seems very high. And if it's an 83 or an 84, it just gets put back in, so. Cisco, what's realistically going to stop us from winning the lot? You guys are going to stop yourselves from winning the lot. Like you do every year. You guys are your own worst enemy. It was very generous. 3 89s and an 89 exchange. Is that the best feeling in the world? Alright, so those are done. Got more dupe storage. Got more 86s. Didn't even realize we won that. Nah, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use her. We earned that. Alright, is the game broken now? We be praying our own downfall? Honestly, you kind of do. So pack fodder, put in exchange, and pack fodder is got us dumbed down. I mean, that's kind of how it's always been, right? You open a pack, you don't get something. You put in another pack, you don't get something. You put in another pack or pick, you eventually get something. Dude, it's crazy how Sunderland and Leeds were both linked with Real Madrid's striker, Gonzalo Garcia. And they were literally in talks at the starting point of Club World Cup for a loan where Real Madrid wanted to loan him. And they wanted a obligation to buy if they stay up for 15 million. And because of how good he's doing at the Club World Cup, Real Madrid redacted that and said, we want to keep him. We see him as the future. And now it looks like he has a release clause of 50 million. That some team may or may not buy. That's wild. I forgot who it was. Some club had a release clause on their player where it was like, oh, was it West Ham that did it? I think it's for Kudos. They have one where it's like 85 mil for a Prem team is the buyout clause. Or if it's Saudi League, it's 120. Alright, we're gonna do newest. Basically just said F you. Dude, it was more of like shock on my end. Because it's like, oh, realistically, you don't want to go the route of like signing experienced championship players for 5 to 10 mil just to get relegated and not really have any fighting chance going in. But I didn't think Sunderland would be linked with the Real Madrid players. Like, that wasn't something that crossed my mind. I was like, oh, who are we going to go after? Pack weight was way better last year. This year it's an all-time low. I have a hot take that I feel like almost every single person might agree with, but not every single person will admit. Pack weight, no matter what the menu grind, has always stunk to a certain extent and it's taken a lot of grinding. Exchanges this year, the way they're set up, the guarantees you get, bare minimum, the amount of gold rares you get, mixed with the dupe storage, is infinitely a better grind than last year's exchanges that everyone so desperately wanted. Do you know how annoying that was? Not only dealing with the soft bans, but constantly having to quick sell gold cards or make a player pick or make something with it because you had like 40 dupes every pack and like 3/4 of them were gold commons. Versus now it's like 81-20, 82-20, 83-20, 84-10 out of a 50 player pack. Thomas, thank you for the sub, buddy. Alright. I might have to go to Pale Tools for this next section. Can't remember if we're banned on Pale Tools right now. There's 10 more. Alright, so we can make profit on every single one of these cards if we end up selling them. We don't need to use them all. But I would like to. No, man, I played Foot Champs like I always do. Straight finished 5 and 10 and got Demons trying to win my 6th game. Still got Kane, Putelis, and Roger yesterday. It's the best way to fill the gold, filter gold commons before I fill club with 75-20s. What's the best way to filter gold commons? What do you mean by filter them? Like, what are you trying to do with your 75-20s? And those? To make player picks, so you either have to do a Pale Tools command to do a mix for you, or do on console most recent. And if you've been opening packs that have gold commons mixed with gold rares and things like that, should already give you a good mix. If you don't have that and you have all gold commons on the low end and you're struggling to get a mix of gold commons and gold rares, I'd make some crafting upgrades with a lot of those gold commons and then put in by hand a lot of your higher end like 83s and 84s until they mix well together, or start making some player picks, open those up, and then recycle it back in. That should give you enough space, especially if you have dupe storage taking up a lot of room. Work on your dupe storage first. If you have gold commons in there as well, sweet, but if it's all gold rares, get rid of that. Start spamming some 75-20s. Even if you get a lot of dupes, put them in the dupe storage. You should start getting a lot of low-end 75s as well. Crafting upgrades 77 plus times 5s. You can make those and open those as well. That would give you a lot of low-end stuff. But eventually you're going to get off kind of that base. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to do 86s now. Please don't have me SBC ban. So I can chuck the rest into our transfer list if we needed as well. Jetpack luck is random as F. I would say Foot Champs luck is different than menu luck. I feel like gameplay rewards, it has to be considered a different grind or a different thing when it comes to weight than like a exchange pack. Me, good cards, bad cards, my gameplay is still bad. True. Got 120 75-20s with a filled club. I'm cooked. Dude, I was at the point yesterday where every single pack I opened, whether it was a 75-20, 77 plus times 5, 81-20, 82-20, 83-20, literally all 20 cards were dupes. I think I had almost every single card you could in the game. That was a gold rare. It was wild. Click RTS on keyboard if you're repeating SBC. Tommy, what's up, buddy? How you doing, bro? This is going so slow right now. We should be down to under 50 now, though. So we're almost out of 86s. Then we'll get to the next part of this grind. The recycle. This is crazy so far. How do you have a shortcut for sending to storage? I have it as Z. I don't think I ever set that up. I think it was just automatically the default for Pale Tools. How much have you been picking up the 86 for? $750. I picked up about 150 today for $750. All right, we're down to 9. And we got the Herberger for 900, which was a W. So done treating death as a secret. All right, we'll put her to the transfer list. We'll flip the rest of these. I don't know how much they're going for right now. We'll just do 1.1. Whoa. Do 15 for Benzie. Alright, there we go. How about other things? We list a few of those. Or lazy list and some lib cards. Got some specials. All those sold already. Dope. Think footies is next week. Don't we have one more week of shapeshifters? Like the grind upgrades still have 10 days, which would mean we'd probably have another team, right? Or is that what you're saying, like the following week after next week? Alright, that's taken care of. We are now going to open our tradable packs. We have 50 League SBC runs we did. So we got a lot of coins coming back in. We still didn't sell off everything from the 100 League SBC runs we did. So we still got a ton of tradable stuff in our club that we will have to deal with at some point. Shapeshifters in July, I know, right, dude? Dude, put these to the front, please. What are we doing here? FIFA in July. Video games in general. Dude, I'm upset. I thought Hightail was going to come out. And then they go ahead and cancel the whole project. Dude, I've been waiting on Hightail for ages, man. I feel like I've spent years. I just realized I wasn't on multi-stream. If you were talking on Twitch, I apologize. I was not on multi-stream. So I missed probably one of the messages on there. Sorry. I didn't store any players in my club, did I? Of the golds. I quick sold the last pack, right? My mind shut off there for a second. Oh yeah, we're going to be cooking with coins again, boys. League SBCs, even if you bought Acuna, Ledesma, and Cotes for the extremely high prices, it might be highway robbery. But we are switching the grind to the tradable packs of the 92+ team of the season. We're going the other direction. I can't wait to see how that goes. But we got to have a sample size of what we're at. So we got to be out of all these packs first before we get to those. Launch this pack a tradable promo card and we freak out and it's worth 10K. We'll make more quick selling it than actually selling it to the market. Pogba's playing footy? Dude, I hope we get a Pogba card before the end of the game cycle. I hope he gets a footies or something. Because they can add him to the game now, right? That he's officially signed. They just probably can't add him to packs, correct? Or do they do a late in the year pack edition? They could do maybe an SBC, right? Dude, I'm so happy for him, man. I can't wait to watch him play, too. Dude, I saw a Twitter debate. Someone made a comment and said Monaco has a front four of failed wonder kids. And Pogba's included in that. Do you guys consider Pogba a failed wonder kid? And if so, what is the standard of failed when it comes to a quote-unquote wonder kid? Because I feel like Pogba's an interesting one with that. Sunderland reportedly interested in Liverpool midfielder Bobby Clark, but Liverpool's sell-on clause only kicks in at a certain fee. The long list of clubs interested in Bobby Clark include Wrexham, Rangers, and Chicago Fire. Interesting. He's not a failed wonder kid, but a failed drug addict. I don't know how you can win a World Cup and be a failed wonder kid, is my thing. Maybe, like, failed in the sense of, like, we haven't been able to see him reach his, quote-unquote, true potential with all the drug stuff and other off-the-field shenanigans going on. I don't see that as a failed. I see that as, like a Neymar situation. Oh, let's go. Nectar, I love you, buddy. Holy cow. Justin, Trantis update. Nectar Trantis wants the chance to try and impress Regis Lebre, Sunderland's manager, before he makes a decision on his future. Let's go, dude. W. Trantis will return for preseason with Sunderland this week. Hibs would be keen on another loan or to buy Trantis, but that move is currently up in the air. It would take a club record purchase that the Hibs board are prepared to sanction, but first they need Trantis to tell them he wants to come back to Hibs. Dude, if Sunderland gets relegated, Trantis is exactly who I want in the midfield. He cannot leave. If he needs to go on loan, go on loan. But he's good enough to break into a potential bench spot, but then in the championship, be a full-on starter. We cannot get rid of him, especially for the price tag that we'd most likely sell him for in the Scottish League. Wouldn't be worth it. We've developed him for 3 years now. This is going to be the 3rd season. He's worth way more than a mil or two. If anything, if Sunderland sells him to Hibs, there should be a buyback clause in it for Sunderland. If anything. The Menzi knocked out Inter. The game is so back, people. I mean, that was a guaranteed. It was Thiago Silva playing against Inter Milan again. He wasn't going to lose. That's a standard former AC Milan player thing to do. Give it to Inter whenever you can. Dude, look at those coins rake up already. Already to 820. break me down. Hypixel Studios founder says he'll reach out to Riot about taking over Hytale. I'm even down to put 25 million by myself to finish Hytale. That's how much I believe in it. Dang, dude. Just United to appoint Johnny Evans as the head of loans and pathways. Which is an interesting one. Obviously great that he gets to stay at the club. If you're a United fan, you love him. But I'm curious to see the actual effect he's going to have on the role. And what that even means. Like, head of loans and pathways. I'm assuming pathways is for the youth development, getting them to first team football. But when it's loans, is it taking those academy players and finding suitable loans for them? Or is that he's going to be partly responsible trying to find players that could play at United as a loan? Because that one doesn't make sense. Loans and pathways, having him kind of have a big role in the academy, makes way more sense. I've not seen the new Squid Game season. I haven't even seen the second season fully. I need to catch up. I watched season 1, enjoyed it. Really wasn't too excited to see. Let's go! Thiago Silva in tears, baby. Pure joy of beating Inter again. Beautiful. Beautiful. Another lead. How was this third season, though? Don't spoil it, but, like, how was it? Did you enjoy it? Or was it not good? Wait, so who does Fluminense play next, then? They play the winner of City Al Hilal. Okay. Palermo's Chelsea will be a fun one. PSG Bayern. And then Real Madrid Juve and who's Dortmund play? Monterrey? I want to see a Jode versus Jude. We need it. Jode versus Jude. Watching Job just bully his older brother would be a beautiful thing. So both of those. Chicuano leaves Lazio and joins Burnley on his way for medical. 50 mil plus selling clause. Yeah, dude, where's the Burka update, man? Or the Bulka update. Not Burka. Thomas Partey's last few hours as an Arsenal player. When does the window officially end for the year? The financial year. How many hours is that? Is it? Let's see. You guys are 6 hours ahead in the UK, right? So 7 hours? No, I'm an idiot. I'm thinking my time. 5, 6, 9, 3? 3 hours? What is bro saying? I literally, I work, don't even, my brain is fried from the menus. Can you 1v1 me an Ultimate Team? I don't want to waste your time, buddy. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Dude, what is that Inter kit? Those shooting stars? Okay, bye. Alright, see you, buddy. Friend of mine started playing champs on my account. He went 3-3. Now I'll finish it, and I'm currently 7-3. So I'm thinking I'm actually getting good at the game. So I am going 4-0 right now. You are about to get absolutely decimated. Is what's going to happen now. You built momentum, so now they're going to play against pros. I subbed also. Thank you for the sub, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Feel free to stick around to watch pack opening, though, if you want. We're spamming packs. Spamming. Making hundreds of thousands of coins. I felt the scripting last game, but I defied the odds. What's your guys' go-to way if you feel the game's scripting you to try to avoid the script? Do you like go back to your goalkeeper and have your center back head it to him? Do you just like... What do you do? Make subs, try to run the timeout, hold the ball up in the corner, change formation. I find that no matter what I do, you just know it's coming. I quit? Yeah, honestly, if I just quit. Easy money. 83 picture way better than the 82s. It's crazy because I thought these were going to be worse than the 82s because that's usually how it feels like it goes. But the amount of good fodder I've been getting. I don't ever consider player picks good when it comes to like probability of packing a promo card because I feel like the drop weight in general is always going to be super low. But like to make exchanges, I've been pleasantly surprised. Alright, libs and suds might be back down, boys. If you want to do in your investing in the gold rares. Under 2.5k is basically a guaranteed 1,000 coins plus. Still recommend doing the crafting over picks, though. My grind, as of recently, has been everything. So it's never discluding the crafting upgrades, but it's making a crap ton of player picks now in it as well. So long story short, I would not avoid player picks. I would do them, but I would also do crafting upgrades. Because, like, you see what I have here, or I don't know if you can see it right now. I'll show you in a second. I've built up officially to almost 1,500 crafting upgrades. So now my thing, instead of opening them and recycling those in and of itself, I'm going to see how long it takes me to craft player picks, exchanges, all that stuff, until I hit dirt dry 0, how many liquid coins I would have made in the meantime, and then realistically how many of these I have to open. So I think I'm going to do is stack these as high as I can up until the crafting upgrades go away. I'm assuming footies, we might get something similar, like a footies crafting upgrade, potentially an even better pack, but I might save a bunch of these just in case. I don't think exchanges would go away, but I might save these as like a last resort of, like, if they don't give us content for like a day, we at least have that to fall back to. So that's kind of my new project. Building up, opening some of them, but really trying to get higher and higher while spamming hundreds of player picks a day. Alright, 3 of these left. Then we're to the Jumbo Golds, boys. The crazy coin packs. We're already up to almost 1 mil just off of these. W. Is anyone else stopping their 87 and 88 exchanges to make the team of the season player picks? Or are you guys just sticking to exchanges? What should the manager go for? Take that. We'll store all the consumables, though. We'll sell those later. We don't worry about that right now. We just take the coins. Just from quick sell alone, we should get another 250k minimum around. That's not even including any of the crazy consumable prices. Because we usually get close to 5k per pack. Just thinking of exchanges, none of it excites me, even the Encore pick. My thing I'm trying is I want to see if I can collect all the Team of Season cards, if I can do enough over time, because I already have so many Team of Season cards in the club, even before this came out. So I want to see how often I can do them, how many I can make, how many coins I can make off of them. But then on top of that, I want to possibly, if I run low on stuff, put all my Team of Seasons then into the 89 exchange and just go absolutely crazy. Dude, could you imagine that for footies? How wild that could be for footies, the 89 exchange. On top of, like, eventually, like, 85 10s and stuff. Like, I truly think once footies comes out and we get re-release promo cards, you're going to struggle to not get more exchange cards than you're putting into a pack. The only one you might struggle with is a 75-20, but if I did an 81-20, 82-20, 83-20, we had a bunch of promo cards re-released that are 85 to like 90 plus rated. I feel like every pack's going to be hidden, man. And then thinking about like the tradable packs too. How many liquid coins would be in like League SBCs additionally then because of that, or things like these 2-section player picks? A few more hours until we announce Zooby Zooby Doo. Oh no, not MLS. Stay. English sources assure that Sunderland, who have been promoted to the Premier League, are keeping a close eye on Georges Mikatudzi from Lyon. I am not even going to put any weight into that until I see him in a Sunderland kit. I'm going to assume that's fake news, because that would genuinely tear me a new one if I got my hopes up for him and then it didn't work out. I mean, I've been busy with work, but caught your stream the other day, the emotional one, and watched it after you were live. Found it very moving, and although I don't have a faith like you, I can tell you're generally kind of a person. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, that was... Yeah, I don't know what happened, to be honest. It was just kind of out of nowhere. It hit me. It was a mix of not technically the anniversary of the person in our community's death, but around this time, they passed away from cancer. Quite a few years ago now, but that was really sad. But just when people in chat are going through stuff and you guys help each other out and kind of trust me with that information, and it's kind of deeper than just like a FIFA community or football community. It really does make me feel extremely privileged to kind of have this group of people. Yeah, that was where that emotion came from. It was good emotion. It wasn't sad. It was joy, almost. Can you help me get better at the game? If by get better at the game you mean like making coins in the menus, absolutely. If you mean get better at the game by making you win games, brother, you might need to teach me. Look at that, 1 mil almost. Gold! Wait, that's the guy Leeds just signed, right? Hartman? No, yes. No to menus and yes to gameplay? I can't help you if it's gameplay, brother. Another rage quit, going 8-3. Nice. Yeah, no. I very much, if I don't say it enough, I genuinely really do appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Wait, who is Burnley signing? RMC info. Lens and Burnley have reached a preliminary agreement on the transfer of Andy Doof. Ooh. They might be cooking. That might be the initial stages of Burnley getting a midfield. You should do a Lafita Glory next FIFA. So, one of the ideas that I'm toying with right now, I don't know how many of them are still in my club after I got rid of the golds, but my idea is taking essentially the existing Sunderland Evos that I've had since the start of this game, that I think might have a chance to get at least some game time, if not potentially still start, like Trey Hume, in the Sunderland squad for the start of the Prem season, mixed with kind of the players that have already signed, like Ronaldo. Balka might be super close. Enzo obviously already signed. There's a chance for Uric, Suarez, Daria already signed. it'd be really nice to start getting these players and evoing them to get an idea of like how it might feel next year, and get an idea of like just like how good the squad could look. Venet's close to signing. Lorente is going to take a little bit more time, but there's a confidence there. I feel like this would be a fun idea for like the rest of the year. I'm still trying to avoid like the 250k to 500k evos. If I can do it mainly with the free ones, I want to do that, but we'll see what happens. Aim for 9 wins because this streak is too crazy. EA is going to nerf me. True. I deal with a few things with work and some of the most vulnerable people in society. People have been trafficked, etc. So it really restores faith in humanity when you see good people on the flip side. Not to get too deep, DFB, but do you mind if I ask a question, buddy? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. It's just out of genuine curiosity, because that is a very difficult kind of job industry to work. I know some people in the similar field. All right, once we're out of these, we'll get into the fodder into the team of season PP, and we'll spam exchanges. My football match tonight is in a few hours, so I think I'll still have another hour to stream or so. Of course, those I'm allowed by law to answer it. No, it won't be a law one. So you said you don't share the faith as me. Do you have a different faith? Like, do you have a different religion? And if not, if you're not religious, my question in that, because I feel like I get both extremes whenever I ask people about it. Working in it sounds bad saying industry like that, but having that sort of job, I feel like you see some of the worst people society could have to offer. And you get to save some of the most vulnerable that society has to offer. And I feel like with something like that, people go to kind of both ends with like, because these kind of people exist, I could never have like a faith in a loving God sort of thing. Versus the other end where it's like, what truly a blessing it is to be able to have your life's mission be to save people from these positions. I'm curious to see like how you feel about that. Like I said, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I feel like I've heard non-religious people and very religious people be very influenced by that specifically. Come on, Fabrizio. Tweet Sunderland, please. Okay, Saudi League, W. We need 2 college wait, we're getting a college basketball EA game? Nah, no wonder EA's giving up on content. They're making a brand new video game. No shot. EA's making a college basketball game. And then 2K tweeted, because someone tweeted at 2K and said 2K should be making the college basketball game. And 2K tweeted and said, the campus has been quiet for way too long. Are we going to have 2 college basketball games in a single year? Nah, bro. Take my money now. I am signing a quick trip NIL deal with Wisconsin. I'm going to the league. I'm going to be a 7-foot white boy from Sheboygan. Just dunking on fools. Put me on the Bucks, baby. I'm the Giannis replacement. Can you get me a gift card, PS, please? What are you thinking? You think you want a $100, $200? What do you think you deserve, buddy? If I'm being honest, I've been an atheist from a young age. My dad was being to a pulp by his very religious mother at a school with Irish Christian brothers teachers, so I think that had a bearing. Oh, it probably did to a huge extent. Yeah, I have family that, in a similar way, were either abused mentally or physically through religious settings, and it definitely didn't help encourage them to want to like seek a faith too. I'm sorry to hear about that, man. Yeah, dude. Specifically in the Catholic Church, my mom grew up going to Catholic school, and she said like the nuns would literally just beat them with rulers. Like they would have like yardsticks and they would just smack them. Twitch chat is full of weirdos. Twitch chat is full of the bots saying they can get you more followers. People saying, "Hey, I just came from YouTube," or people coming in and be like, "Hey, can you give me money?" I'm gonna be generous and give me 1 Bitcoin, please. 20. Okay, you want $20? What are you gonna do with the $20? Q8. In terms of work, seeing the things you see doesn't help me find a faith. Hopefully that makes sense. No, it makes perfect sense, buddy. Thank you for the insight. The word mumbo has been said. Dude, we're gonna hit 5K then. We're almost there. Wait! This man was not even hold on! This man was begging in chat for money before he even hit the follow button. My dude. What are we doing? Brother! What are we doing? My goodness. Save it for next FIFA? You're going to be waiting a long time for the next FIFA, buddy. Let me know when the next FIFA comes out. Come on, we don't want to be greedy. Can you gift me 180? Dude, if I could gift exchanges or packs to people or coins, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd literally, every promo card we pack, I would do like a giveaway for it. I'd be like, all right, who wants my team of the year Mbappe with this cosmetic Evo? Let's hit 20 likes in chat. Momo Goki, please donate 100 to my FIFA addiction. If it's buying coins so you can get players for Weekend League and basically killing yourself to play the game, sure, that's dedication. If it's for FIFA points to buy packs, absolutely not. If it's not too personal of a question, you don't want. Do you mind me asking what made you convinced of your faith? Yeah, no, that's not too personal at all. I would say growing up, I was raised in a Catholic household, so we were going to Mass, Sunday school, so on and so forth. So at least from like a cultural perspective, I was always raised with kind of the idea of believing in God. Didn't necessarily know exactly what that looked like or like a life of that following it, what it would look like. And for me, I very much thought God put me on this earth to play football, aka if you're in the United States, soccer. So those two things were like heavily tied together for me. And when I started getting my concussions and basically ended my career, as much as you can call it a career, it made me very much question my faith from a perspective of like, I literally made this thing an idol in my life. I do not know what to do now. Literally, I feel completely hopeless. Don't know what a future looks like for me. At the same time, our Catholic Church was trying to get us to not go through the process of confirmation, which is like one of the final sacraments when you're in the Catholic Church. And the reason was, if you went to Sunday school, if you're there every single week, you basically did nothing. It was like an attendance grade. But if you miss, because me and my twin sister always had football tournaments that we were playing in across the United States, they essentially made you like write all these additional papers, do all these additional reports that had nothing to do with what you were learning about. And essentially they like put our papers side by side, and she's like, they're written too closely together. And my response to her was, yeah, we talked about it in the car together, and then we wrote separate papers. And she's like, that's not good enough. We have to have you guys do this over again. And then she went over our papers as we wrote them completely separate, found words like the, God, and the, Jesus, and literally, because of that, highlighted them and was like, you guys are cheating. Cheating's a sin. We don't think you're ready to get confirmed, and tried to get us to leave the church. So my dad was super pissed. He called the higher ups at the church, kind of tried to get her removed from her job, and they didn't want to do that either. So they found the happy medium of, hey, you guys can get confirmed, and then after you get confirmed, if you want to leave the church, you can leave the church. So essentially, we got confirmed and then never went back. My family stopped going after that, but I didn't know what faith was going to look like for me. I had no idea if I still want God in my life. And then literally my freshman year of college, I had a crazy experience where I don't know if I've shared it before. I'm down to share it in the future if I haven't, but it was like one of those moments where I was very much questioning whether there was something else out there. And in a very specific moment, I felt God pulled me out of a really bad situation. And it was one of those things where it went too perfectly at the right time. The way everything went down, I'm like, this cannot be a coincidence. I want to explore what this looks like a little bit more. And that led me to want to find Christian community in college. That made me want to start reading the Bible, kind of explore like what my faith looked like. And then from that, it was kind of pairing that with a bunch of other stuff too. Can you play me? Can you give me? Can you play me? You want me to play you? And he said, sorry, correction, give me money. Yeah, buddy, give us 5 minutes. We'll think about it. Can't wait for Mumbo to announce his MMO EXP sponsorship. Dude, I should get that Minecraft server to sponsor us. I bet they'd do it. I bet they would, by me shouting out the server, they would give you guys free like store credits up to a certain extent, and then after that be able to get you guys like certain ranks, and then maybe some like bonus items and drops. I could be sick. Moby, you need a coin sponsor? I turned down coin sponsors at a time when they were paying big. And now if I wanted to get into a coin sponsor, it's not the same situation whatsoever. I turned down, back when we were very against even the idea of people potentially getting their account banned, even if they wanted to take the risk to buy coins, we turned down over $500 a month for a coin sponsorship because the content we were doing at the time was very anti-buying FIFA points, anti-buying coins, and it would have been the most hypocritical thing in the world if I took that. However, on the flip side, if it would happen like nowadays, I'd have no problem taking something in that, knowing that you guys know how I stand on everything. If you want to take the risk and buy it, go for it, but I think it's a waste of money. Hypixel? Nope, not Hypixel. We have a smaller Minecraft MCMMO server that we've played on almost every single year for the past, I think, coming up on 8 years now, man. Jeez. I don't know if you ever see him in our Twitch chat. If you guys go on there, his name's DJ. I can get you guys the IP if you want to play on it. I don't know if it's still in the YouTube description or not. EA just took away money from 2K, the basketball game, 2K soccer game. Dude, if 2K made a... How stupid would that be if 2K made a football game? That'd low-key either cook or be the worst thing ever. Now the menus are just completely done. Honestly, I think Mumbo should be a generous fella and give me money to buy 3 million coins. Let me load it up real quick. Let me get you the coins, buddy. Alright, we're back in. 1 second. So do you believe God is what causes serendipity kind of moments? I know it's a really loaded topic. I hope you realize I'm generally fascinated by other viewpoints. Thanks for sharing. No, I love talking about these things. I just, want to, like, not just make side comments in passing that haven't really had a bunch of thought behind them, or not give a genuine answer. So finding a balance, I mean, if you want to talk more in the future too, feel free to, if you want to message me on Discord, send me a DM. I can go more in depth on my thoughts on different things if you are interested in talking about it more. I would say just like as a baseline to that exact one you're asking, the serendipity thing, I think it plays into it. I think, oh gosh, how do I word that? Taken outside of Christianity, I think if you're just talking about like believing in a God or higher power, thinking that that higher power would have moments where they would either try to reach out or find a way to connect, knowing that they could always be there, but it's having you have to make the decision of whether or not you want to follow, logically to me makes sense. I don't think when it comes to like a God forcing you to something is much of a relationship. But I also think like people can go their whole life without wanting to follow it and or look into it, and God's never going to force you into a relationship if you don't want it. That's like the baseline thinking, at least. I am Muslim. Wait, hold on. Haram. You're asking for FIFA points so that you can gamble your money in FIFA. Haram. We're not going to give you money for that reason. How about that? We were debating getting you a PlayStation card, but now you say that. Haram. Dude, we have so many good selling consumables. Akram, I'm not even going to engage in that, brother. I feel like you're going to catch me in something right now. The name McNutt. Rofo any good? Dude, Rofo has the ability to be, what is it, the best card in foot history if Sweden women win the Euros. Because what? She'd be, I think, a 99 rated card with basically all her stats in the mid to upper 90s. Alright, if you're not trolling Akram, who is that then, bud? I love for the fact that so many people beg for money on Twitch. I'm just kind of curious if they do it to everyone and just their mindset is like eventually it's going to pay off. But like also too, it's like I wonder like what the thought process is behind it. Like, is it like, hey, I just didn't even follow the stream yet. I just came in. I'm going to ask them if they can give me money. If they don't, they leave. Is someone just randomly going to be like, oh, don't leave, buddy. Here's $20. Stay. All right, final tradable pack. He was a depressed veteran that found his girlfriend was cheating on him, and oh, I don't think I've heard that. No. You ain't getting no money, little bro. What grind are you doing this week, man? We are trying to include these team of the season PPs for tradable coins. So what we're doing is still spamming exchanges, still spamming crafting upgrades and player picks, and then we're turning all that into wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the exact same 4. I was so confused. I'm like, wait, don't I have enough? It's funny because my parents met because of 2 canceled flights 3 months apart on a stopover at a small island, yet they're both atheists. Kind of, when does fate become faith? School of thought. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thought for sure on a lot of those things. But I guess, too, the question in that then is, do things all need to be fate or faith in the concept of living in a world where we all make decisions every single day? Things are going to happen one way or another. Like, for example, if I sit here, show!
If you ain't talking money, I don't want to talk.
So, I'm going to announce the Misfits contract. It's in the works, buddy. Papers are getting signed. Alright, who do we got? Oof. Look at that. We're going to own all these. By the end of this, we're going to own all of them. Weird example to give, but like, for example, me packing I don't know, like a Team of the Year Mbappe. How much comes down to like luck being in the right place at the right time versus like something was willed into existence? Just because something can happen doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna happen or should happen or that everyone has an equal chance for it to happen. Oh, am I gonna get triggered by this tweet? Hold on. I didn't read it through. Thiago Silva spending his peak hiding in League One kept him away from an all-timer discourse. I think this is one of the greatest center backs ever. Like Terry and Ferdinand level, if not higher. Ooh. I'm down to play the what-if game. I think if he would have won a Champions League with PSG, would have changed the discourse for sure. But I'm curious to see if he would have either stayed at AC Milan for the rest of his career, how that would have went for him, how much longer the Serie A would have had kind of the pull it did, how much longer would it have taken AC Milan to fall apart, or if he made a move to the Prem, what that would have looked like for him in the Prem at a younger age. The thing soldiers of all races and countries go through uses like oil or confirmed weapons. Feel bad for him? I just find it really interesting in my life. Dude, DFB, and I guess anyone else. Does anyone else ever have, I don't know if you'd necessarily call it like deja vu, but I have this thing where it's like very specific events will happen in my life. It's not that I remember them happening the exact way they do. Maybe it is to a certain extent, but it just feels like oddly familiar. Or it feels like it's exactly where I'm meant to be in that moment. It's a really crazy feeling, but a really like calming feeling at the same time. When's the here we go from Fabrizio? Jake Paul's not signing the contract yet. It is on him. When Jake Paul signs it, the here we go will be announced. Think if he had actually completed that move to Barca from Milan, would have changed a lot of how he's viewed? Yeah. For sure.
If you ain't talking money, I don't want to talk.
Here, the FIFA points to myself have been agreed on personal terms. Here we go. £100 a week for the next year. Shallow Apple to FIFA Point FC confirmed. Here we go. There we land. Can I see your team? Yeah, give me 1 second, buddy. Let me finish this next PP. And then I'll show you what we're working with. Pause. Pause! That did not sound right at all. Resume. We'll show you the team after we finish this one. I love Thiago Silva, man. Banging tweet. Soon. Lovely Shadow Apple. Dude, what would Bateson's Here We Go been? At the start of the year? Here we go. £20,000 a week. Someone didn't even buy FIFA. They are getting it for free or on extreme discount later in the year. Loan with option to buy. Mic muted, bro. It is not muted. Might have to refresh. I still open the 85 exchange and I have 130 75 20 packs saved for Friday full team release. Dude, what is with the servers right now? I can't hear anything. Refresh. Refresh. Alright, here's my squad, bud. Here's my Prem Sunderland. We're building rumored players and confirmed players. Reinaldo's confirmed. Diarra's confirmed for Sunderland this upcoming season. Balka is extremely close one way or another. Vinat's almost finished. Diallo's a chance. Biscoff Sunderland's leading the race. Merlin, probably not likely now that Ronaldo's signed. Uric, there's a high chance. This one would be a crazy signing if we can pull that off. Suarez for 25 mil would be a little overkill. It'd be 20 British pounds. La Liga experience, League One experience, Liga BVBA or whatever the second division is last season experience. Then we got our sweaty squad. I need the new Dino, man. And then we got our Sunderland squad. What happens on Friday? I have no idea. I won't be around for whatever happens Friday. Yes, can honestly say, can't give details. We ordered a seizure at a location, nothing. I had this weird deja vu type thing and searched the unit with the numbers in another order and found the children. Dude, like, yeah, like, whatever people want to classify that as, obviously people will come to different conclusions based on, like, their beliefs and stuff, but, like, even if it's just, like, insane odds and things like that happen, to me, anytime something like that happens, it's like, whoa. That's just crazy. Ronaldo is spelt like the way Aisha Speed says Cristiano Ronaldo. That's how it's pronounced, you're saying? Ren-Aldo? Yeah, I see Isaac wants to leave Newcastle. No one wants to join Newcastle. Crazy, man. All right, so we're out of 88s. Couldn't explain it at OD for you because we didn't have a warrant. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's crazy. Think about that more and more. It's like truly insane, but also like insanely cool at the same time. Dude, I haven't even done my combos today, man. I'm tripping, bro. Look at all our dupe 90 pluses. We're just chilling, boys. Maybe it was the lib, sud, grind, wipe 2. Lib, sud, grind is so crazy. Dude, I saw a Twitter report on financials based on value that clubs have sold players for since 2020. And Chelsea has made, was it like 820 million since 2020 on player sales? How much of that is to Saudi Arabia is my question. So remember, all these that we're dealing with, these were just all from player picks. We haven't even touched the recraft recycled exchanges. That's where everything's going to get even wilder. All right, so we can take off the 87 and 88 exchanges. We're not doing those anymore.
If you ain't talking money, I don't want to talk.
Oh, wait, no. Was it a bit without a message? Thank you for the bit, buddy. Oh, no, there it is. My chat wasn't loading. Here's my last bit. My goat. I'm dedicating this one to Christians and Muslims, etc. Thank you, buddy. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. Do you guys, if you used Twitch in, like, 2018, like when Fortnite was huge, do you guys remember how you could used to watch ads on Twitch to earn bits? I would sit there and farm ads for, like, 10 minutes a day and make, like, $4 worth of bits. And then I'd either I would either donate them to a big streamer so I could have a badge in their chat, or I would have like someone in my community spam ads for bits, and then I would spam ads for bits for them, and then we'd donate them to each other. I think I made a few $100s off of that. Or like people in our community would be like, I would tell them like, oh, you can hit watch ad, you can earn bits. And we made like, I think it was like $25 in a single stream. I do work with serious economic and organized crime, though. What I find crazy, like, that's an awesome job that you do. It's definitely needed. But, like, I don't think my mind can comprehend people having a life outside of, like, the streams. Like, when I see people in chat, like, I either know you guys by your football club, your name, the back and forth conversations we have. A lot of it doesn't really leave a certain range of, like, topics and stuff. And then once you, like, learn more, it's like, wait. I'm sure we were raging at Foot Champs at some point this past weekend. and now you're going to fight crime after losing to a 12-year-old to secure 9 wins on Weekend League. It's like thinking about things from that perspective. It's like, dang, the world really is crazy. Or it's like, hey, there's world-class criminals that I'm trying to catch right now. But the most criminal thing is Acuna being 3.5K. And then I can't do 5 to 10 more League SBC run-throughs today because I don't want to overspend. Wait, you touch grass? I touch a lot of grass. Pause. Pause. Hold up. I go outside quite a bit. It'd be a dream for Isaac, Wirtz, and Salah. That'd be a crazy team. No. I can't, man. I can't. I can't deal with women in this game. No. No. It is not heaps. You can't do this to us. It is Lindsay Horan. EA, when they get married, their legal name might change, but you can't change their name in here. If anything, just add it to the end of it. Have it be Lindsay Horan, and then Heaps at the end. Or Horan Heaps. You can't just pull their name out of here, man. What's the next thing? They're gonna, when a woman's pregnant, they're gonna take her out of packs? Like they're no longer part of the team for like a 9-month window? Come on, EA. Would it be worth grinding the 92 plus? If you want to try pulling your 87 and 88 exchanges, if you're already unlimited, and put those 2 towards that and everything else towards grinding exchanges, player picks, craftings, and you're not running out anytime soon, I think that's the best balance to have. Because then you also get liquid coins as well. Not as good as the liquid coins from League SBCs, obviously, but... One day I'll be on the stage where Mumbo knows my name and club. Can infiltrate sophisticated crime networks but can't stop a green time Trivella from 30 yards by the corner flag. Good fodder. Like, look at the amount of 88s and 87s we're already getting. When would you quit FIFA? I technically stopped playing FIFA for ages because it's EAFC now. But in a general sense, when would I stop, like, Ultimate Team and, like, streaming and content creation? Either the day I'm just not feeling it completely anymore, or the community's changed, honestly. Like, part of it's I'm here for you guys as a community. If you don't kind of know the story behind stuff or the emotion behind it, you can go to the stream the other day for a little bit more of an explanation. But in general, like, as much as I love the grinding, I love the community aspect. Whether it's day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, whether it's live streams, videos. But yeah. Realistically, like, as life continues and I get more and more responsibilities either at work, like start a family, those sort of things, the amount of time I'd be able to put in would look different. But I think to a certain extent I'd always want to do something content creation wise. Take them out of packs? Wait! If you pack a pregnant woman in a promo, does it count as 2 cards, 2 players, or 2 people? Could you pack a Team of the Year woman who's pregnant and they gave you like a bronze common baby? And what would that mean if you put a baby into exchanges? Interesting. Does the baby share the same rating? Wait a second. We are gonna... Wait, hold on. Time out. You know how we had fathers who were icons and now their sons are in the game? And they're like in the game together? We're going to hit a point where pregnant women in FIFA are going to have kids that will one day also be in FIFA. Brings a whole new meaning to baby icons? True. Wait, hold on. We're going to have like whole families in the game. That could be crazy, man. What am I hearing right now? I have no idea, to be honest. We're just yapping. All right, 8320s. We got 16 of these to open. All right, my football match is in 2 hours, so I gotta get ready soon. Brings a whole new meaning to baby icons. Is fantastic. Alright. We are playing a club that is in 7th place in the league right now. Last week we played the #1 team in the league and we got absolutely ran through. So this week might be my chance to score a goal. I've had a few Travellas from outside the box hit the post. I've had a few long shots pissed over the bar as well. We're scoring tonight, boys. I'm calling it. Fancy if it's a boy, she gets an upgrade. If it's a girl, no. Dude, they could do live, bro. No shot. They could do live cards or showdowns where you have to guess the gender. And if you guess the gender right, the card not only upgrades in rating, it turns the color of the reveal. So if it's a girl, it becomes pink. It's a pink card. And then if it's a boy, it becomes blue. Dude, they could do so much. 52, what do you mean, a football match? I'm in the United States, and we have our football matches going all the way until 2 hours until midnight. So some weeks, literally, I play right now. Other weeks, I play close to midnight. It really depends. Is it just a friendly? It's a co-ed football league. But it's the summertime right now, so all the college kids who play Division I come back and play in the league as well. So it's a lot more competitive during the summer. Which is good and bad. It's good for competition. It's bad for, like... You know, there's some people that just kind of want to play to have fun and they're not really, like, super competitive. They're just, like, completely outclassed and it makes it difficult to play sometimes. I like being competitive. I like being competitive, too. The one downside to the co-ed league, and it's nothing against any like person on my team or the other teams. It's no disrespect whatsoever. It's just it's just something I've noticed is like when you go from playing like extremely competitive, where you have like teammates where you're used to their runs, you're used to the movements, you're used to formations. You take that away. I want to play balls so badly to areas where it's like I know a pacey winger would go on to them. But when it's a 30-year-old guy who really hasn't played football before, you can't expect them to get those balls. So it changes things a little bit. But also, dude, they cook you as a defender. I get it can't be the same as 11v11, but when you play 7v7, none of the rules benefit a defender. 7v7 in co-ed, you have to have 2 women on the pitch at all times. Normally, people don't use them as a goalkeeper, so they're in the field somewhere. And then for defenders, usually, most teams will only play 2 defenders. You really need 3, to be honest, with, like, more wingbacks. But if you're playing two center backs, you have no offsides. So there's no incentive for the strikers to not sit in an offside position. So they'll play the most anti-football, terrorism football you've ever seen, and they'll have people just kick long balls at them. And you either play them as they're offsides and you go stand by them, which leaves the middle of the pitch wide open, or you have to scream at your teammates to drop back and you're sitting in a low block. Which, a low block in 7v7 should not be a thing. Oh, and you can't slide tackle either. You can't slide tackle at all. If you slide tackle, it's a card. So any opportunity I have where I can make a sliding block tackle, I can't. Game's gone, man. Game is absolutely gone. Can't sleep in the heat. How do Americans do it? Air conditioning, brother. Most viewers, more viewers than Sunderland's going to get points next season. Hey! Stop. We have a chance, all right? Look at our signings right now. There's hope. Wait, why no slide tackles? We play on turf. And with just like the league rules, they don't want like certain injuries and stuff, which makes sense, right? If you're playing on turf, it's harder to slide tackle in general. But also too, on top of that, if you have 30-year-old men that you're playing against who are maybe a little bit overweight, you hit them with a crunching tackle, them falling to the ground or having weight on their leg versus someone who's pretty light in their late teens, early 20s is going to be a very kind of different impact. Like you're not hoping to go to work after a pickup footy game or co-ed game with an ACL injury as an accountant. That's not something you're hoping for. Versus like you're a footballer, you know that's like one of the risks in there. You get done for slides in UK 7-a-side leagues too, to be fair. Yeah, I feel like most leagues try to make it so you can't slide at least. But again, like I said, I feel like most of the rules for sevens are anti-defense, which sucks as a defender that wants to keep a clean sheet. But it makes it more fun too in other ways where it's like you're expected to defend a lot more. You also get more freedom going up. Another 89, let's go. Another 87, let's go. We're cooking, boys. No excuses for me to not get 1,000 plus of these opened in the next few days. Getting cut in half when you nutmeg someone, though, that seems okay with some refs. My thing is I don't usually spend a lot of time on the ball anyways as a center back. Like, I'll take space when it's there. But I'll play through balls to people. I'll play to people's feet. I'll then step up and get more involved in the play. But if I was taking someone on in the middle of the pitch, like let's say I play balls as center back to my left mid, and he doesn't have an option because he has someone on him, so he plays it back to me. Now I'm under pressure, and I'm forced to play a touch to the middle of the pitch and take it into space, and someone tries to take the ball from me in the middle of the pitch. There's no world where I'm letting them just walk it to the top of our box. I am shouldering them. I'm decking them. I'm taking them completely out. And they are getting a free kick at the halfway mark. Middle of the pitch. Every single time. Last two. Same amount of viewers as goals they'll concede against us. They equal Sunderland. What is week one of footies normally? It seems like week one of footies is going to be not this Friday, but the Friday after. If we look at the crafting upgrade when that ends in like 10 days or so, that seems about accurate for when we can expect footies to start. Last, what'd you say, Akram? I missed it. I sent you a pick read. I like being competitive. Pro's not cooking. What did you send me a pick on? Oh. I should have viewed that off stream. I didn't know what you sent me. One time I had a dude send a share screen of a GTA strip club one time when we were doing share plays. That's sick, man. That is beautiful. I can guarantee you no one else has that exact same team, too. Sorry, no one's interested in the in-depth breakdown of your performance on the pitch. I don't care if you guys are or not. I'm yapping about it, dude. Are you kidding me? Dude, you guys gotta understand. My position when it comes to playing football is the best position to be in. I got concussions that made me stop before I ever got truly tested at any level, collegiately or I wanted to play professionally. So I can just say, essentially, hey, this is what I was hoping to do, but I can't really prove it, but I can talk about it, and then I can talk about playing, and then when in doubt, I can spam the Roberto Carlos free kick over and over, because people haven't seen it before, or they see it again, and they're like, W. The American Vidic over here? Yo, speaking about the, Roberto Carlos. I think we got to show it off again real quick. Hopefully it's not too loud. Oh, that's going to be extremely loud. Can I mute it somewhere? Or where can I mute it? Right here? No, I'll play it really light. Could score a free kick against a one-legged keeper. What do you want to... Oh! I got Travello Plus! What do you mean? Look at that. Travello Plus. Beautiful. Now imagine that with pace, hit a cross pitch to play a winger in on goal. Let alone a free kick. Imagine you're playing the ball around your back, you're 11v11s. I see my winger getting some separation. Think of Pogba to Mbappe. Mbappe just says he makes a run and Pogba will find him. Keeper, come on. Nah, you can't play the keeper on that. Just kidding, you can. But I've not been here in 2 years and you're still milking the clip. Hey, I will milk it as much as I can. Is that keeper a pregnant woman? No, man. That's a world-class keeper. That was Neuer in goal. That was the Mexican Neuer. All right. That was Campos in goal. Yes! Yes! Come on! Oh my gosh! I don't know how much she's worth. I don't care. We're getting a 99 Rolfo. Inject it. Yes! Come on! They're winning the Euros, baby. Rolfo's winning the Euros. They need to. I need a 99 Rolfo. Look at these stats before the upgrade. She's going to be like all 99s, bro. Let's see. Players, nation score 3 goals in a group stage. Wait. Starting from June 5th. So this has already been going on. 5-5-1 alternate position, +1 play style, +1 overall, 99 overall, icon chemistry. She's gonna go crazy, man. Yeah, Campos is playing for FC Mexico in like the 5th, 6th division of Spanish football, right? That reminds me of, who's that Japanese guy that still was playing until he was like 56? I think he just retired. Remember when you jumped on your bed and started crying over a pack bowl? Vinny? Who let this baby fantasy card guy cook? Play hell, the only person I recognized from years ago is Carlos. Wait, Nick. You're not, Is this the same username you had before? This isn't who I think it is. Ooh, Watkins, let's go! New one. Cold. He's not discard. I changed him when I was still here. What do you think it is? Is this Pastor Fred? Is this Pastor Fred? Brother, we were literally just talking about you the other day. We were talking about OGs in the community that we haven't seen in ages. And the one we couldn't wrap our mind around was Pastor Fred. Because we're like, I know a lot of people come in and out. But we were literally talking about how you must have had a name change or something too. Because I haven't seen Pastor Fred name. And I'm reading a multi-stream chat. So I can't see your actual YouTube thing. Is your profile pic the same? Oh yeah, you're a mod too. Yeah, so you're a mod and you have, I think, the same profile pic. If I would have looked at the YouTube chat, I would have seen that. But on the multi-stream, all I can see is this. So this is what the YouTube chat looks like. I would have seen it right away. But this is what I see here. What's up, dude? How you been? Dude, look at what this one chick sent me today. Speaking of Pastor Fred. You ready for this? She, I think, was babysitting a little boy. I get sent this video. She said, although it's not your team, thought you'd appreciate the soccer fandom from a 3-year-old. I said one of my best friends supports that team. Haha. This kid is in for a lifetime of pain and disappointment. And then she said, never watched a match while living with them. But the kid would always be like, why do I cheer for them? Who is actually good though? I tried to equate it to American terms. I said, they are the Dallas Cowboys of soccer. Is that accurate? Would that be a fair... Anyone who watches the NFL and football? Is that a fair assessment? It's literally child abuse. For sure. Going to New York in September. Gonna get to see Sunderland Fan Club of America. Hey, dude, you come back as Sunderland's in the Premier League, man. What a time. Oh, what a time, baby. I only know the Packers in the NFL because I'm a Bucks fan. Dude, what do you think's gonna happen to Giannis, man? Any hope of him staying, or is it Dunzo? All right, I got to head out in a few minutes, boys. It's been wonderful. We'll be back Tuesday, 4 hours after new content, too, spamming for a long time. And then Wednesday, same thing. We'll be spamming for a long time, but that'll be my last stream until Monday again. Think Giannis appreciates Milwaukee too much to leave? I think, realistically, for Giannis to leave, he already has a life-changing amount of money. I think at this point for his family and the way he spends, money wouldn't really be the thing. I think it'd be a chance to win more championships. But truly, yeah, like you said, I think he loves the city too much where if they could potentially like rebuild at Milwaukee a little bit, and there's an opportunity for him to go there, possibly. I think if he does leave, he'd have to go West Coast. I wouldn't want to see him staying on the East Coast. Or not East Coast. I wouldn't want him to be in the Eastern Conference. I agree. Send him to Golden State. Dude, I had a kid in our children's ministry at our church. I was teaching the 6-year-old kids, and this kid walks in, I kid you not. He had a Milwaukee Bucks jersey and a Golden State Warriors hat. I almost didn't want to let him in the classroom. You're not sticking 83s and 84s into exchanges? Nope, I'm putting all those into player picks now. Because the way I look at it is essentially every time you do a Team of the Week pack, it's basically not a guaranteed exchange. It's close. The same thing's basically now with 83 pluses, where your likelihood of getting an 85 plus is pretty likely. And the amount we get to spam in bulk, you do way more over time than exchanges or than Team of the Weeks, to where there's really not too much of a difference, so to say. If I was working with stuff that had a lot lower ratings, like if I'm opening a lot of big exchange packs where I get a bunch of gold commons, or I do 75 20s, I get a bunch of low rated ones, it might make sense to put some 82s and like 83s and some 84s into some Team of the Week packs. But in general, it's just going to be a lot easier doing craftings in these. Everyone's just left you now. We have our own group chat called the Proud MumboElite Supporter Club. Do you actually? Dude, I know I say it every single year, but I will actually take it serious this year if you guys will. If we do an Elite Army Premier League Fantasy League, I am 100% down. You know, I'm going to do as many Sunderland players as I can. Group chat dedicated to Mumbo. Protect this community at all costs. Dude, our mods were like all, not, I don't know if I'd say best friends, but they all would unite in roasting me. Like, if they weren't mods in my chat, you would be like, Mumbo, why aren't you banning these people? It was like their love language to just roast the crap out of me. I appreciated every second of it, man. Literally everyone's there. Mackenzie, Beak, Crip, and a few more. You used to get abused when everyone watched? Pause. Yeah, we got cooked, man. Alright, let's do another 83-20, and then let's do a, if we have the Fauner, another team of season. Now we just all abandoned you? Facts, dude. Used and abused. Alright, 88s. All. Acquisition date, newest. Go. It's weird having to put 5 cards in now, not gonna lie. I wish it was still 4. Aesthetically, it feels different and looks different. What do you prefer, chat now or back in the day? Depends on what you mean by like chat now in general. If you mean like how it's moving at this second, I would say chat moves relatively similarly in terms of speed throughout the course of a normal stream. I would say it's way less assault on me nowadays. It's like we trade the new subs each stream as we were growing through the niche. So it's like back in the day we'd have more newer people consistently coming in and subbing. But the abuse that we had to put up with to get to that point was way more. My favorite was when, like, new people would come in and abuse me, and then the mods would time them out and be like, bro, we can say that. Don't talk crazy to Mumbo like that. They're probably nicer to you now. Depends on what your definition of nice is. You know, that was wild back in the day. All right, dudes, I got to get ready for my football match. I'm saying... What am I saying? I'm saying we're going to win 4-3. It's going to be a close one. 4-3. I'm going to have 10 blocks. I'm going to have 4 long shots. One's going to hit the post. 2 are going to go over the crossbar. And 1's going to be right at the keeper. I'm going to have 15 progressive passes. I'm going to dribble past 6 people. Over, under 15.5 tackles. I'm going to go with the over. I think I'm going to get a lot of tackles tonight. No Brexit, sadly. I went to bed but wanted to finish my weekend league. Just got to wins. Can I have a twirl before you go? More likely to dribble down your chin 6 times than dribble past 6 people. Wow, dude. Wow. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to record one of these games eventually. All right. Take it easy, guys. Love you, dudes. We'll be back Tuesday, 4 hours after new content. Same with Wednesday. Then I'll be gone for 4th of July camping trip. I'll be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But then we'll be back that Monday like normal. So, God bless you all. Take it easy. We'll see you guys tomorrow, or if it's already tomorrow for you guys, see ya today.